So, Namaskaram friends. Let's start the part 2 of the December 2023 current affairs prelims video. Okay. So, the first topic of today's discussion is Sahitya Academy Awards. Okay. What it is and what is given in this award and for which purpose or in which you can say activities this award is given. The name of the recipient of the prestigious Sahitya Academy Award was announced recently. Okay, so recently, recipient of this prestigious award is the name of the candidate or recipient is announced recently. The list of works that were deemed eligible by Academy for awards includes six. Remember, six novels, 9 poetry, anthology, 5 short stories collection, and 3 essays and 1 literary study. Okay, so the list of work which are included under the Sahitya Academy Award are novels, poetry, anthology, short story, essay, as well as literary study. So 5 types of category. Okay, novel, poetry, short story, essay, and literary work. So the names of these recipients are announced recently for this award. The award was presented in the shape of cassette containing an engraved copper plate. Okay, so this picture you can clearly see. So this is a Sahitya Academy Award. So the award was presented in the shape of a cassette containing an engraved copper plate. It also includes a cash prize, a lump of 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so cash prize of 1 lakh rupees, then a cassette containing an engraved copper plate is awarded in Sahitya Academy Award. Okay, and 5 types of category are included into it: poetry, short story, essays, literary work, as well as novels. Okay, so through this picture analysis, this is a Sahitya Academy Award. Let's move on to the next topic called International Olympic Committee. What IOC are? So IOC approved inclusion of cricket in 2028 Los Angeles Olympic. Okay, so IOC take a decision, International Olympic Committee take a decision to include cricket in the next Los Angeles Olympic game. What is the context of it? The IOC executive body has approved the inclusion of cricket in 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, marking a significant step toward ending cricket's over 100 years absence from the Olympic. Okay, so from the start of Olympic, cricket is not included in the gaming part of it, but now decision of executive committee of IOC take decision to include cricket in the next Los Angeles Olympic Games. So what are the rules? Olympic host cities can propose new sport for the game they host. Okay, so Olympic host city like Los Angeles for the future can propose new sports for the games they host. Okay, so this country, Los Angeles, proposes the new sport for the game included in the 2020. However, the total number of athletes must not exceed 10,500. So there is a limit on the athlete. How much types of game include, but athletes are limited to 10,500 to control cost. Otherwise, cost is increases rapidly. Example, Tokyo 2020 organizing committee was allowed to add surfing, sport climbing, karate, baseball, softball, and skateboarding when it hosts the event. Okay, so Tokyo included surfing, sport climbing, karate, baseball, softball, and skateboarding, and Los Angeles included cricket. So if cricket and other sports are added, some existing category may be removed. Okay. So this is added, so others removed because number of players have to be limited to 10,500. Previous history of the cricket Olympics. Cricket's only previous appearance at the Olympic was at Paris 1900. Okay, so not from the starting, from the last 100 years, cricket are not included it, but in 1900 in Paris, cricket is included in the Olympics. When Great Britain beat France in the final. Okay, and at that sport, Great Britain beat the France. It was also the only match after the Netherlands and Belgium withdraw. Okay, in that match, Netherlands and Belgium withdraw. So it also the only match between Great Britain and France. What is the aim of inclusion of the cricket? This move aims to engage new athlete. Okay, the move is to engage new athlete, draw new countries in cricket, and attract numerous fans communities. Also, cricket inclusion makes sense due to T20's popularity and financial potential. Okay, many people are, you can say, watching sports, so there is a financial potential also, and also T20 is very famous in various countries. That's why IOC take a decision to include cricket so that they are also benefit financially as well as in their popularity terms. It would draw a large South Asian audience and significantly increase broadcasting revenue for the host city. Okay, so Los Angeles do not suffer financial loss as well as attract more audience from the South Asian region. So this is the purpose of inclusion of cricket in the IOC in the Olympic. This is the logo of IOC, International Olympic Committee. 5 rings: red, green, yellow, black, and blue. Remember the color also. Okay. Now let's move on to the next topic called In Space, Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. In Space has unveiled a decadal vision and strategy for the Indian space economy, aiming to significantly boost its growth. Okay, so In Space reveal its decadal vision and strategy for the growth of the Indian space economy. What is In Space? In Space is India's single window autonomous agency. That means all your work are done on a one website or a one particular agency. So In Space is a single window autonomous agency. Remember, autonomous, not under the government. It is a single window autonomous agency under the Department of Space. Okay, remember this In Space come under the Department of Space, which is a department of Ministry of Science and Technology, responsible for promoting and authorizing various space activities for non-governmental entities. Okay, so this In Space promote and authorize the various space related activity for the non-governmental entity, because for the government entity there are many programs, but for the non-government entity there is no such program like participate in the space activity. So In Space give them a chance to participate in the space activity of India or the private entity or for the non-governmental entities. It was launched in 2020 to provide a level playing field for the private company. Okay, earlier private company are deprived in participating in the space activity, but now this In Space give them a level playing field in this area to use Indian space infrastructure. Okay, so now private company or non-governmental entity can use the Indian space infrastructure for the purpose of development of science and technology and also other technology for the benefit of economy and infrastructure. It acts as a single point interface. In Space act as a single point interface between the ISRO and everyone. Okay, so it is a single point space interface between ISRO and everyone who want to participate in the space related activity or use India's space resources. So whoever want to participate in the space related activity or use India's space resources can they have a better chance through In Space to interact with the ISRO. Okay. So through this logo, you can clearly see it's In Space. That means use the Indian space infrastructure as well as participate in the space activity for the non-governmental entity and other private sectors. Okay, because nowadays India launches many successful missions in space, and it is a growing, you can say, factor, or it is a growing sector in which many people want to invest or dive into. Let's move to the next topic called UNDRR, UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction. The UNDRR conducted a 2023 global survey on persons with disability. Remember, in 2023, UNDRR conducted a global survey, okay, not a regional survey, on a person with disability and disaster. Both are included, PWD as well as disaster, following up the 2013 survey. Okay, so in 2013, one survey is conducted, and now in 2023, after 10 years, another survey is conducted by the UNDRR on the person with disability and disaster. Sendai framework for DRR 2015 to 2020, disaster risk reduction. In DRR 2015 to 2030, in Sendai framework, recognizes PWDs as a contributing stakeholder and emphasizing the need for their inclusion in the DRR policy and practices. Okay, so Sendai framework pave a pathway for the inclusion of disabled people in the with the disaster risk reduction policy and programs. What are the initiative India take in this regard? Okay, so in September 2019, NDMA came out with a comprehensive guideline. Okay, National Disaster Management Authority in September 2019, National Disaster Management Authority come with a comprehensive guideline under the name called National Disaster Management Guidelines on the Disability Inclusive Disaster Risk Reduction 2019, simply called NDMA 2019. So full form is NDMG, National Disaster Management Guidelines on Disability Inclusive Disaster Risk Reduction 2019, simply called 2019. It is a comprehensive program for the disabled people to include PWD with the disaster. This was the first comprehensive set of guidelines issued by any country globally. Okay, so this is the first comprehensive set guidelines related to DRR with PWD. PWD included in DRR by any country globally on disability inclusive disaster risk reduction. Okay, so this is the first NDMA 2019 is the first comprehensive program for any country with globally included disabled person with the disaster risk reduction. So remember, Sendai framework also talk about it. India Tech also in the India Tech initiative in terms of formulating the NDMA 2019 guidelines as well as UNDRR also take steps. So UNDRR on UN level, Sendai framework on regional level, and India on a country level. So on all these three levels, there's a program to include disabled under the DRR, disaster risk reduction. Okay, so through this picture you can clearly see there is a disaster through which there is a loss of life and infrastructure. So many disabled people are suffering a lot. That's why UN, Sendai, as well as India take part to include disabled under the DRR. Let's talk about what is it? Yeah, just a minute. Sorry. So let's move on to the next topic called CDRI, Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. That means we collaborate with different stakeholders for disaster resilient infrastructure, as the name suggests. Okay, so CDRI, you can say Coalition for Disaster Risk Reduction. CDRI is an international coalition of countries, United Nations agencies, multilateral development banks, private sector, and academic institutions. So it is not just a collaboration of UN agencies. It is a collaboration of countries, UN agency, multilateral development banks, private sector, as well as academic institutions. That they are aimed to promote disaster resilient infrastructure. Okay, so participation of these 5 types of agency under CDRI promote the disaster resilient infrastructure. Okay, its objective is to promote research and knowledge sharing in the field of what is the objective of CDRI? Objective of CDRI is to promote research and knowledge sharing in the field of infrastructure, risk management, standards, financing, and recovery mechanism. Okay, so objective of CDRI is for the reduce or infrastructure risk management, manage the risk related to infrastructure, their standards about financing, about the recovery mechanism. It was launched by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the 2019 UN Summit. Okay, so in 2019 UN Summit, Indian Prime Minister launched this CDRI initiative. Okay, and this is launched in September 2019. Through this picture, you can clearly see the logo of CDRI. Okay, so many UN agency, multilateral banks, many private institutions, private sector, academia take part into the CDRI activity. Okay, and launched by the Indian Prime Minister in September 2019 under the UN Summit. Let's move on to the next topic. It's called Pontus Plate. What is Pontus Plate? Scientists have recently discovered the Pontus Plate, a long-last tectonic plate. Okay, so it is a earlier exists, this Pontus plate is earlier exists, but it is lost for a long time. That's why long lost tectonic plate. So Pontus scientists recently recovered this, and this plate is disappeared about 20 million years ago. Okay, 20 million years, this plate is just disappeared. This plate was approximately at a quarter the size of the Pacific Ocean. If you have idea about the Pacific Ocean, then you clearly understand what is the 1/4 of the Pacific Ocean. That means it is a very big plate, and once exists beneath the ancient ocean known as Pontus plate. So in the ancient, in earlier it is existed under the Pontus ocean. The rediscovery, not discovery, the rediscovery of the Pontus plate was accidental. Okay, occurring during the study of rock in Borneo. Okay, when scientists study the rocks in the Borneo you can say country, they study the rock, and the rocks are about, they study the rock of the Pacific plate. Okay, so researchers have originally been studying the Pacific plate. When they come across rock fragment that did not fit with the known plate's magnetic property. Okay, when the scientists study the Pacific plate, then they come up with the fragments of rock which are not fit in the magnetic property of the known plates. So they discovered these rocks are from another, you can say, plate. And then the Pontus plate is rediscovered. The plate formed at least 160 million years ago. Okay, so plate formation of plate happened much earlier, more than 160 million years ago, but it disappeared 20 million years ago, possibly even earlier, yes, and eventually disappeared, and it was subducted beneath the Australian and Chinese plate. So the Pontus plate is subducted beneath the Australian and Chinese plate, and it is formed once earlier, you can say it was formed at least 160 million years ago, and it is lost in earlier 20 million years ago. So through the map, through this picture, you can clearly see this is the Pontus plate. Okay, 1/4 of the size of the Pacific Ocean, and subducted beneath the Australian and Chinese plate. Okay, and it existed, you can say, 160 million years ago and lost 20 million years ago. So this is the Australian plate, this is the Pontus plate, and scientists studied the rock of the Pacific plate in a country called Borneo, but they find a segment of rock which are not fit into the magnetic property of the current plate. Then after they find the Pontus plate. Let's move on to the next topic. And here I also give the various images of plates. Okay, so this is the Pacific plate, Australian plate, Antarctic plate. So scientists studied the Pacific plate, but they found the Pontus plate here. They found the rock fragment which are of the Pontus plate. Okay, let's move on to the next topic called Security and Exchange Board of India, or simply called it as a SEBI. So what is the context of it? SEBI board recently unveiled a new logo on the occasion of the 35th anniversary. Okay, so SEBI launched a new logo. Here you can clearly see this is the logo of the SEBI. So SEBI, established in 1988, its headquarters is in Mumbai, is a statutory regulatory body. Remember, it is a statutory regulatory body for security and commodity market, not only for security as well as for the commodity market. So SEBI is a statutory body for the security and commodity market in India under the ownership of the Ministry of Finance. So SEBI come under the Ministry of Finance. It is a statutory body, and it regulates the security and commodity market. What is regulatory authority? It regulates primary market, secondary market, mutual fund, and foreign institutional investors, simply called as FII. So it regulates primary, secondary, mutual as well as FII. Background of it: initially a non-statutory body without any statutory power, it became the autonomous and given statutory power by SEBI Act 1992. So before 1992, it has a no statutory authority, but after 1992, through the Act of SEBI Act 1992, they become an autonomous body and have a statutory authority. And statutory authority is very required, because when anything of a statutory backing, you can go to the court for if the rule related to it is violated. If not, then you have a no choice like this. What is the aim of it? To protect the interest of the investor in security and to promote the development of and regulate the security market. Okay, so it protects the interest of the investor who invested in the commodity and security market, as well as promote the development and regulation of security market. So it protects the investor as well as promote or develop the security market. What are the power and function of the SEBI? SEBI is a quasi-legislative and quasi-judicial body. It is a quasi-legislative, that means semi-legislative and semi-judicial body, and can draft regulation, conduct inquiry, pass ruling, and impose penalty. Remember, SEBI can also impose penalty. It can draft regulation, what are the rule regulations through which you can invest, or you invest in the various market and regulate the security and commodity. It also conduct inquiry if any fraud is happened and pass ruling related to it. Okay. The primary objective of SEBI is to protect the interest of the Indian investor. If I invest in the security and commodity market, primary objective of the SEBI to protect the interest of investor in the security market and promote its development. SEBI also regulates the task entrusted to the depositor, credit rating agencies, custodians of securities, foreign portfolio investment, as well as other participants. Okay, so it also not only regulate the interest of the investor, it also regulates the interest of the depositor, of credit rating agency, custodians of security who custodians of security, that means who have a custody of security, as well as foreign portfolio investors and other participants who are participated in the security and commodity market. SEBI inducts investors about security market and their intermediary. Okay, so SEBI educate, not induct, I'm sorry. SEBI educate investor who invest in the security market as well as their intermediary. It prohibits fraudulent and unfair trade practices with the security market and related to it. Okay, so if within the security market there is a fraud activity going on, so SEBI regulate it and draft regulation and also punish that entity or that individual. Expansion of its power. It can regulate any money pooling scheme worth 100 crore. Remember, if a money pooling more than 100 crore, then it come under the jurisdiction of SEBI or more, and attach asset in case of non-compliance. Okay, and if let's say if any mutual fund company come under the pooling of more than 100 crore, then they come under the regulation of SEBI, and if they are non-comply the regulation of SEBI, SEBI also conducts search and inquiry and also impose penalty. SEBI chairman has the authority to order search and seizure operation. Okay, so it is the power of the, there is a power given to the SEBI chairman who can conduct search and seizure the operation if any non-compliance activity is going on for a company who are come under the jurisdiction of SEBI. So what is the structure of SEBI? SEBI board consists of a chairman for 3 years and several other whole-time and part-time members. Okay, so one chairman and several other members who are part-time as well as whole-time, and the term of the chairman is 3 years. What is SAT? Security Appellate Tribunal. It has been constituted to protect the interest of entities. Okay, if SEBI impose a penalty to entity and entity is not happy with it, then entity file an appeal with the help of SAT for the resolution of their, you can say, appeal for the resolution of their grievances. So it has been constituted to protect the interest of entity that feel aggrieved by SEBI's decision. SAT consists of a presiding officer and 2 other members. Okay, so remember, SEBI structure is 1 chairman and other officer, but in SAT there is a 1 presiding officer and 2 other members. It has the same power as the vested in the civil code, and the power of SAT is equivalent to the civil code power. Okay, and it is for the you can say redress the grievances of the entities who are not happy with the decision of the SEBI. Okay, so through this picture you can clearly see the office of SEBI and also new logo of it. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, what white phosphorus. What is white phosphorus? It is a highly toxic wax-like substance known for its ability to burn at extremely high temperature. Okay, so it is highly toxic. It is a wax-like substance, and it is known for ability to burn at extremely high temperature, and that temperature is exceeded more than 800 degrees Celsius. Okay, or 1500 Fahrenheit. White phosphorus can melt metal and often used by militaries to create a smoke screen due to its fast spreading fire and thick smoke production. White phosphorus produces thick smoke as well as spread very fastly. That's why military uses it to create smoke screen. Okay. White phosphorus is harmful to human. Okay, white phosphorus is harmful for the human mechanism and causes several burns and penetrating down to the bone also. Okay, when white phosphorus penetrated down to the bone, it created many problems and also burn types of things are happen on the body. The chemical can be absorbed by the body. Our body absorbs that chemical white phosphorus, leading to the dysfunction of multiple organs, including liver, kidney, and heart. Okay, so this white phosphorus affect our liver, our kidney, our heart because it absorbed by our body and penetrate to the bones of human body also. So remember, it is a highly toxic class structure, burn at a high temperature. Military use it to create smoke screen due to its rapidly high spreading as well as smoke production property. I show you the picture of white phosphorus. Before that, let's talk about other points related to it. So white phosphorus munitions can also be delivered through artillery cells, bomb, rocket, or grenade. Okay, so through artillery cells, through bomb, through rocket, and through grenade, we can deliver the phosphorus munitions. This substance is colorless, white or yellow, and emit garlic-like odor. Okay, so this white phosphorus is maybe colorless, maybe white or yellow, but its odor is garlic-like. While white phosphorus is not banned by the international convention, it is not categorized as a incendiary weapon, that means to causes burn, intended to cause fires and burn. Okay, so remember, white phosphorus is not categorized as a incendiary weapon by the international convention. So military can use it to destroy or create smoke screen. So instead, white phosphorus is considered as a multi-purpose munition. Okay, white phosphorus is considered as a multi-purpose munition. Protocol 3 of the 1980 Convention of Conventional Weapon prohibit incendiary or use of other substances to attack civilian population. Okay, so in the international convention, we prohibit the incendiary or other substances which causes to the attack of the civilian population, but white phosphorus are not come under the incendiary weapon. So there is no, you can say, ban on the white phosphorus, but it allows military to argue that white phosphorus is used only as a smoke screen, signal, and illuminate a target. So military uses white phosphorus for the smoke screen, producing smoke screen for signal purpose as well as for illuminating any target. Okay, so remember, white phosphorus not come under the convention of incendiary weapons, and military can use it for smoke screen, signal, and or illuminating a target. It is a multi-purpose munition. Okay, and it is a odor like garlic-like odor, and it come in a 3 form. You can say yellow, white, as well as colorless. Okay, I just show you the picture of it. See, this is a white phosphorus. Okay, so it is the high. It has the ability to burn at a high temperature and a spreading. You can say very rapid spreading fire property, and also create smoke screen. Okay, so this phosphorus is, you can clearly see, launched by the aeroplane on a ground for maybe target or for illuminating or for just signal purpose. Let's move on to the next topic called criteria for Maharatna status. If any country wants to categorize itself as a Maharatna status company, so what are the criteria for it? So there are criteria for Maharatna status. First, shall have a Navratna status. If you want to categorize any company as a Maharatna status, first of all, that come under the blanket of Navratna status. Okay. It is listed on the Indian Stock Exchange. Okay, that Maharatna company have to be listed on the Indian Stock Exchange with prescribed public shareholding. Okay, so that company have to be declare its prescribed shareholding as well as listed on the Indian Stock Exchange. Its annual turnover, remember, annual turnover, that means all the earning for the last 3 years is more than 25,000 crore. Its annual net worth, that means after deducting the tax, it's more than 50,000 crore in the last 3 years. Okay, so turnover is 25,000 crore, net worth is 15,000 crore, and average annual net profit after tax is more than 5,000 crore. Okay, so annual worth is after paying, you can say, salaries and other office cost, Annual net worth is 50,000 crore, and after paying taxes, net profit is 5,000 crore. So remember the difference between the annual turnover, annual net worth, turnover, net worth, as well as net profit. This is the total earning. This is the total earning minus paying salaries and office cost, and this is the net net worth minus taxes. So this turnover must be more than 25,000 crore. Net worth is more than, net turnover is more than 25,000 crore. Net worth is more than 15,000 crore, and net profit is more than 5,000 crore in the last 3 years. If any company want to list itself as a Maharatna company, and also have a significant global and international operation. Of course, if you have a Maharatna literature, you have to have a global and international presence. So these are the criteria through which you can categorize any company as a Maharatna company. So these companies like SAIL, BHEL, Bharat Petroleum, Power Grid, GAIL, Indian Oil, all these are Maharatna companies because they satisfy all the 6 criteria. Okay, annual turnover, annual net growth, and annual net profit. More than 25 KCR, more than 15 KCR, more than 5 KCR, have international and global presence and international operation, significant global presence, international operation, have a Navratna status as well as listed on the Indian Stock Exchange. So these are the criteria if we categorize any company as a Maharatna company. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. CAR T cell therapy, very important. Okay, it is a very breakthrough revolution in the field of science and technology. So CAR T cell therapy is a cutting edge form of cancer treatment that uses patient's own cell. Okay, this CAR T cell therapy uses patient's own cell to attack the cancer. So T cells are harvested from the patient's blood. Scientists, or you can say doctor, harvested T cells from the patient's blood and modify in a laboratory to produce chimeric antigen receptor, simply called CAR. Okay, so chimeric antigen receptor. They first harvest T cell from your blood, and then modify in a laboratory to produce CAR, which bind to the cancer cell and destroy them. Okay, so in CAR T cell therapy, scientists uses your own cells to attack the cancerous cell. So T cell, what is T cell? T cell is a type of white blood cell, are a part of the immune system. Okay, so T cell is a part of the immune system and developed from stem cell in a bone marrow. So T cell is developed in a T cell is developed from stem cell in a bone marrow. In our bone marrow, there are various stem cells, and so through which we develop our T cell, and they help to protect the body from infection and may help fight cancer. And this T cell is also present in our immune system, so they fight with infection as well as fight cancer also. So what is the benefit of CAR T cell therapy? Unlike chemotherapy, okay, or immunotherapy, we use chemotherapy and immunotherapy to treat cancer. So unlike this, which require mass-produced injectable and oral medication, in chemotherapy and immunotherapy, we use mass-produced injectable as well as oral medication. But CAR T cell therapy use a patient's own cell and have a high efficacy rate, 90% in some cases. So it is very efficient, and it uses our own cell, so it is a very less chance of you can say failure. Okay, so how the CAR T cell work? Okay, through this image you can clearly see. First step is T cell is extracted from the patient's blood. Let's say from my blood, if I have a cancer, from my blood T cell is extracted. Then that T cell is genetically engineered by introducing CAR. We modify the laboratory so that this T cell produce CAR. Step 3, engineer CAR T cell. Now identify cancer cell and kill it. Okay, we engineer CAR T cell in such a way that they can identify cancer cell and kill that cell. And step 4, CAR T cells are multiply in the lab and infuse into the patient. Okay, so first we harvest T cell, then our patient, then we in the laboratory produce CAR in the T cell, then that CAR T cell kill the cancer cell and multiply in the laboratory. Then that CAR T cell which kill the cancer cell, we multiply that CAR T cell in the laboratory and infuse it into the body of the patient so that all the cancerous cells are destroyed. So what are the limitations of the CAR T cell? Efficacy is variable based on the type of cancer. Okay, if cancer is also stage 4 or stage 3, then its efficacy is variable. In early stage, it is more efficient for an earlier stage cancer. Cost, it is a high in technical and human resource required to administer the therapy are considerable. Just a minute. So the cost of the CAR T cell, cost of this technique is very high. So it is high and technical and human resource are required for performing that activity. There are technical and human. There is a requirement of technical and human resource to administer the therapy or considerable. Okay, so it is first efficacy is very depending on the stage of cancer as well as it requires human resource as well as technical person. So its cost is high. Currently used for the cancer that have not responded to the previous treatment or have returned after an initial successful treatment. Okay, so this CAR T therapy is currently used for the cancers that have not responded to previous treatment. If for previous treatment, if any cancer related cases are not responding, we use CAR T cell therapy for that, and or any cases return after an initial successful treatment. Let's say if for a cancer patient, if I give an initial treatment and that are successful, but after let's say 1 year or 2 years, that patient also return. So we use CAR T cell therapy on that guy, or you can say for if any patient of cancer and existing therapies are not working on it, we can also you can say uses CAR T cell therapy on those type of patients. So there are two types of patients on which existing therapies are not working, or other person are like if first initially it is successful, but after that they are also returning for their problems related to cancer. Okay, so now let's move on to the next topic. I think you understand the CAR T cell therapy. Remember, it uses human beings on cell, and in a laboratory we produces CAR into it and then infuse in the human body, and that CAR kill the cancer cell. You can clearly see in this picture. Earlier T cell, so this cancer is hiding from the T cell, but when we introduce CAR into the T cell, that CAR T cell attack the cancer cell and destroy the cancer cell in our body. Okay, let's move to the next topic called, and here in this picture you can clearly see T cell. Then we in the laboratory produces CAR into the T cell, and that CAR T cell attack the cancerous cell. Let's move to the next topic. Sorry, psych mission, not psychic mission. Psych mission. What is psych mission? NASA has launched a spacecraft called Psyche. So remember, name of the spacecraft is Psyche on a 6-year mission. So NASA launches Psyche spacecraft for a 6-year mission to study the unique metal-rich asteroid, also named Psyche. So name of the asteroid is also Psyche. Name of the mission is also Psyche. Or name of the spacecraft is also Psyche. So let's say this one is a spacecraft. Its name is also Psyche. And this one is asteroid. Its name is also Psyche. So NASA sent a spacecraft named Psyche for a 6-year mission to study the asteroid called Psyche, and this asteroid have a unique metal-rich property. This asteroid orbit the sun between Mars and Jupiter. We know that asteroid belt are between Mars and Jupiter. So this Psyche asteroid is you can say orbit around the sun between Mars and Jupiter. The primary goal of the Psyche mission, is to explore the iron core. Okay, what is the primary mission of the Psyche? Is to explore the iron core, because it is previously unexplored aspect of planet formation. We do not have a clear explanation of the iron core of the Earth formation. So Psyche mission is basically studying the iron core, which is unexplored aspect of the planet formation. For the first time, the mission will examine a celestial body primarily composed of the metal rather than rock and ice. Earlier, we sent many space missions which are studying the asteroid on which rock and ice is present. But this mission is of first of its type, which send spacecraft to the asteroid, which is composed of metal, okay, rather than rock and ice. Additionally, it aimed to gain insight into the internal structure of the terrestrial planet, including a terrestrial planet means Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. So these are the 4 terrestrial planets. So these mission also gain insight into the internal structure of these terrestrial planets, including Earth also, by directly studying the interior of the differentiated body. What are differentiated body? 12 planets began to melt. The material in them began to separate it from one another. Okay. When any planet begin to melt, material into that planet separate from one another, and the heaviest material such as metallic iron sink to the core. Okay. If any planet start melting, then the heavier metal sink to the core. Low density magma rise and forming crust. Magma which have a low density rises and form the crust of a planet, and this process is called differentiation. Okay, so these are called the differentiated body. Okay, so this psych mission directly studying the interior of the differentiated body, which would otherwise remain hidden. Okay. Otherwise, if we're not studying it, then that property or that types of metal are hidden in the core of the terrestrial planet. So this mission is basically talk about basically try to find out the core of iron core as well as interior property of the terrestrial planets. Okay. Let's move on to the. Let's just see the picture of asteroid. This is the asteroid. Okay, Psyche asteroid, and this is a Psyche spacecraft, and this Psyche have a unique metal. Have a unique metal rich, and we study the iron core, which is not early, which is an unexplored part of the Earth planet formation. Okay, and this is the first mission, which is sent to the asteroid, which have a metal rather than rock and ice. Okay, so through this picture, clearly see this Psyche spacecraft and this Psyche asteroid launched by NASA for a 6-year mission. Let's move on to the next topic called Green Credit Program, or simply called as a GCP. So GCP notified on 30th October 2023 is an innovative market-based mechanism designed to incentivize voluntary environmental action. So what is GCP? It is a innovative market-based mechanism. Okay. And it is designed to incentivize voluntary environmental action across diverse sectors by various stakeholders like individual, community, private sector industry, as well as companies. Okay, so remember GCP has a innovative market-based mechanism. The GCP's governance framework is supported by an interministerial steering committee. Its framework of GCP is supported by the Interministerial Screening Committee and ICFRE, Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education, serve as a GCP administrator. So this ICFRE serve as a GCP administrator, and it is responsible for program implementation, management, and monitoring and operation. So remember, GCP is a innovative market-based mechanism, and it is designed to incentivize the voluntary environmental action across various sectors. And stakeholders are individual, community, private sector, as well as industry and company. And GCP governance framework of GCP is supported by the Interministerial Steering Committee. Okay, this framework is supported by it. And ICFRE serve as a GCP administrator, and it is responsible for program implementation, management, and monitoring of the operation. So remember about GCP governance framework as well as ICFRE. Okay, GCP Governance framework is supported by the Interministerial Steering Committee and ICFR serve as an administrator for GCP. In its initial phase, GCP focuses on two key activities. Initial phase, GCP focuses on two activities: water conservation and afforestation. Okay, and these two topics are very, very important for environment protection, biodiversity, as well as climate change. So the GCR, Green Credit Registry and Trading Platform, being developed by ICFRE along with the expert, would facilitate the registration and thereafter buying and selling of the green credit. Okay, so GCR and trading platform being developed by the ICFRE, which act as an administrator of the GCF governing. ICFRS act as a GCP administrator and responsible for program implementation, monitoring, and operation. So this GCR and trading platform, which is developed by the ICFRE, along with expert, facilitate the registration and thereafter the buying and selling of green credit. So remember, ICFRE, which created GCR and trading platform, are responsible for the registration and selling of green credit. And to obtain the green credit, individual and entity must register their activity through the central government dedicated app and website. Simply, link of the website is http://www.mofcc/gcp.in. Okay, so through this website or through dedicated app, you can buy the green credit. So remember, important name related to GCP. So in GCP governance framework is supported by the Interministerial Steering Committee. ICFR serve as a GCP administrator. ICFR create green credit registry and trading platform, which are responsible for registration and selling of green credit, as well as GCP is an innovative market-based solution designed to incentivize voluntary environmental action from various sectors, and stakeholders are individual, community, private sector, as well as companies. And individual as well as the private entity can buy, register their activity to buy green credit bonds or green credit only. So these are a picture through which this is a green credit program. So you can register your activity and buy the green credit through the dedicated app or on the government websites. Let's move on to the next topic called Mini Ratna status. Earlier we talked about the Maharatna status. It is a Mini Ratna status. Okay. So if any company satisfy these criteria, they are categorized under the Mini Ratna category 1 status and Mini Ratna category 2 status. So in Mini Ratna, there are two categories: category 1, category 2. For category 1, requirement is the company has to make profit in the last 3 years continuously. Okay, in the last 3 years, that company have to make profits continuously. Pre-tax profit is rupees 30 crore or more in at least 1 or 3 years. Okay, so in at least 1 or 3 years, pre-tax profit of that company is more than 30 crore, having positive net worth status. So there are 3 criteria. Your net worth status is positive. Next, pre-tax profit is more than 30 crore in the at least 1 or 3 years, and have a made profit for the last 3 years continuously. And for category 2, made profit for the last 3 years continuously is the same, having positive net worth, same. Not defaulted in the repayment of the loans, interest payment, and any loans due to the government. Okay, so you are non-defaulted, very important, for payment of the loans, and not dependent upon budgetary support and government guarantees. Okay, if any company want to register itself or give itself as a category 2 status, you do not have a non-fraudulent status, do not depend on the budgetary support or government guarantee, as well as you continuous 3-year continuous profit and positive net worth status. So these are the 4 criteria for a category 2. First and 2 are same, and there are 3 criteria which first and 2 are same. Okay, so I think loan related and the budgetary support related are not included in part status 1, but in status 2, these 2 are also included. In part 1, positive net growth status, or you can say this one, pre-tax net profit of more than 30 crore is included, but here I think in category 2, this requirement is not such included. So let's see, these are a company. You can categorize company as a Mini Ratna, Navaratna, or Maharatna, dependent on the your net turnover, net profit, or net worth. Let's move on to the next topic called Eco-Mark scheme. What is Eco-Mark scheme? The Eco-Mark scheme provides accreditation and labeling. So this scheme provides accreditation and labeling for householders and consumers products. So for householders and for householders and for consumer product, Eco-Mark scheme provides accreditation and labeling that meet specific environmental criteria while maintaining quality standards as per Indian norms. So if any household and consumer product meet specific environment criteria while maintaining their quality standards as per Indian norm, Eco-Mark scheme provide accreditation and labeling to that types of product. Product accredited under the Eco-Mark scheme will adhere to specific environmental criteria. If any product accredited under the Eco-Mark scheme, they adhere to specific environmental criteria, ensuring minimal environmental impact. So this is very, very important. That product ensure minimal environmental impact. That means by forming or by producing that product, by making that product, there is a minimal impact on the environment. Okay. Then only that product will come under the Eco-Mark scheme. It will build consumer awareness of environmental issues and encourage eco-conscious choices. Okay. So this Eco-Mark scheme build consumer awareness of environmental issues as well as encourage eco-conscious choices. That means people include or aware about the choices related to environment. They are aware about choose choices which you can positively impact environment as well as aware related to environmental issues. This Eco-Mark scheme also motivate manufacturers to shift toward environmentally friendly production, because if any product is Eco-Mark, then consumer are more tend to buy it because it has a less impact to the environment as well as there's a very less you can say degradation in their quality. The scheme Eco-Mark scheme seek to accurate labeling and prevent misleading information about the product. Okay, so this scheme also accurate the labeling as well as prevent misleading information about the product. CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, administer the Eco-Mark scheme in partnership with the BIS. BIS is a national body for standards and certification. So remember, CPCB in partnership with the BIS administer the Eco-Mark scheme. Okay, and this scheme is very important because through which we aware the people, we boost, you can say, protect the quality as well as labeling of the product, as well as quality is not deteriorated on a such level. If any product is marked Eco-Mark, if any product come under the Eco-Mark scheme, it is have a Eco-Mark status by the BIS and CPCB. It has a less impact on the environment, that means beneficial for environment, and as well as its quality is protected, and it is labeling and accredited by the Eco-Mark scheme, which is a trustworthy organization. So let's move on to the next topic called through this policy, protect the environment through Eco-Mark scheme. So economy and environment go hand in hand because Eco-Mark status product, which we give this status because it has a less impact on the environment and its quality is also protected. And CPCB and BIS are you can say monitoring this scheme, administering this scheme. Let's move on to the next topic called Mission Life. What is Mission Life? Life means lifestyle for environment. So Mission Life or Lifestyle for Environment, launched in October 2022, is a global movement initiated by the India to promote environmentally conscious lifestyle. Okay, so this life is promoted by India for environmentally conscious lifestyle. What is the need of it? It addressed environment degradation and climate change at an individual and community level. Okay, we know that these environmental degradation and climate change problems are very much prevalent in all parts of the world. So this life address these two challenges. What is the aim of it? It aims to replace mindless consumption with mindful utilization. We have to replace our mindless consumption, unnecessary consumption with mindful, with aware utilization, and encourage individual and community to undertake climate-friendly action in their daily lives so that we protect the climate and improve the health and life of the animal as well as plants. What is the approach of it? It focuses on individual behaviors co-create globally, leverage local culture. Okay, so it also focus on individual behavior, that means conscious environment related behavior. Co-create globally, with a global participation, we co-create many programs which are which are beneficial for environment, as well as we leverage local culture with the help of life. What are the objectives of it? It promotes environmentally conscious lifestyle. Life promotes environmentally conscious lifestyle. Nudge individual to undertake climate friendly action. Create a global network to pro-planet people. Okay, so life promote the network to pro-planet people. Three types of people: pro-planet people. It also promote environmentally conscious lifestyle and nudge individual to undertake climate friendly action. What are the example of it? Promoting sustainable transportation. Okay, we promote sustainable transportation, which come under the lifestyle. When we promote sustainable transportation, it come under lifestyle, because in promoting sustainable transportation, we work on individual level, community level, as well in changes our behavior also. Like encouraging individual to use public transport other than despite of having a private vehicle, you have to use public transport so that you can protect the environment. Carpooling, other than just individual people are going from one individual people are going in different car, we use a carpooling so that in one car 4 people are going. Cycling, walking instead of private vehicle to reduce the carbon emission and promote green community. If we adopt public transport, carpooling and cycling and walking, then we reduce the environment, then we reduce the carbon emission and promote greener community, and it is helpful for the environment and health of the human being, other life and animals. So what are the activity related to life? Glasgow climate meet, okay, Panchamrit strategy, International Solar Alliance, National Action Plan on Climate Change, National Clean Air Program, and National Biofuel Policy. All these programs are related to life, because through biofuel policy we protect our environment, we reduce the climate related activity, degradation of climate related activity, we purify our air, we national through National Action Plan on Climate Change, we reduce the dangers of climate related activity. Through solar energy, we use renewable energy, which is in the for the betterment of the environment, as well as in the Glasgow Climate Summit, we talk about climate related activity, how we reduce it. So through this picture, you can clearly see lifestyle for environment. We take conscious decision to protect our environment and other climate related, biodiversity related, and environment related challenges. Let's move on to the next topic called minimum support price, or simply called as MSP. So the center announced MSP for 23 crops. In 23 crops, 7 are cereals, 5 are pulses, and 7 are also. These 7 cereals are paddy, wheat, maize, bajra, jowar, ragi, and barley. I saw you picture also. Okay, so this is the maize. This is a maize. These are cereal crops. Okay, so this is a maize. This is a paddy. This is a wheat. This is a barley. This is bajra. This is ragi. And this is jowar. So these 7 are cereals. Okay. 5 are pulses. These are chana, tur, moong, urad, and masoor. So I also show you the picture of these 5 pulses. So this is a chana. This is a tur. This one is a masoor. This one is a urad. And this one is a moong. So 5 pulses and 7 oil seeds. These 7 oil seeds are mustard rapeseed, groundnut, soybean, sunflower, safflower, sesame, and Niger seeds. So I also show you the picture of these 7 oil seeds. So this is a mustard rapeseed. This is a groundnut. This is a soybean. This is sunflower. This is sesame. This is safflower, and this is a Niger seed. So 23 crops are categorized under the MSP. In these 23, 7 are oil seeds, 7 are you can say cereals, and 5 are pulses, and 4 commercial crops like sugarcane, cotton, copra, and raw jute are also come under this. So 7, 5, 7, 3, 14 and 519, 14 and 519, and then 3, not 3, this is 4. Okay, so 4 commercial crop. Sugarcane, I also show you the picture of sugarcane, copper, not copper, cotton. So this is a picture of sugarcane, which is a commercial crop. This is a picture of, just a minute, some technical problem occur. Meanwhile, we discuss, picture is not shown here. So yeah, this one clearly see. So this one is a raw jute, which is a commercial crop, which is come under the MSP. This is a copra, or you can say coconut, dry coconut. This is a copra or dry coconut. This is a cotton. And this is a sugarcane. So there are 23 crops which are come under MSP, and in which there are 4 categories: 7 pulses, 7 oilseed, 7 cereals, 7 oilseed, 5 pulses, and 4 commercial crops. So the MSP is an indicative price. Remember, it is an indicative price. It does not have a statutory backing. That means farmers do not go to the court to fight for the right of the MSP. Okay, so MSP is an indicative price, have not statutory backing, and farmers cannot demand MSP as a matter of right, because it is not statutory backing. That's why in farmer protest, many farmers convince or debate with the government that government have to include MSP statutory status, so that they can fight for their right if any ruling government not provide a proper MSP for the 23 registered MSP crops. So in most crops grown across much of India, the prices received by farmers, especially during harvest time, is well below the officially declared MSP. Okay, so in harvest season, farmers receive merely few farmers receive the MSP declared price for any crops. Okay, so in harvest season, farmers receive money well below the officially declared MSP. Okay, so it is a very, very, you can say, hardening news for the farmers or for the people who are living on the farm produce. Okay, everyone is living, and but no one is, very few people are care about the farmers, about their rights, about their money. Many farmers are committing suicide. So it is the first priority for any government, for any people, to protect the life, protect the right of the farmer. Then we debate on any other thing. But in our country, we debate on many things, but very less on the farmers. This government launches many programs like Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchay Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Annadata Aay Sanrakshan Yojana, Paramparagata Kriti Vikas Yojana, through which they can enhance, and many other insurance related activities, so that they can protect the right of the farmer and give them money in the hard time. Okay, let's talk about NALSA and SLSA, National Legal Service Authority Act 1987. So NALSA has been constituted under the Legal Service Authority Act 1987. Okay, so this is constituted under the Legal Service Authority Act, and it provides a free legal services to weaker section of the society. Okay, so for the weaker section of society, NALSA provide a free legal services. Full form is National Legal Service Authority, and NALSA means NM is National, LIS is Legal Service Authority, SLS is State Legal Service Authority. The aim of the NALSA is to ensure the opportunity for securing justice or not denied to any citizen by reason of economic and other disability. If any people have a not financially not equipped and have other disability, then NALSA provide a free legal aid. And aim of the NALSA is to ensure opportunity for securing justice, and this justice is not denied to any citizen. Okay, so primary aim of the NALSA is to provide justice to the poor and other people who are disabled, so that no one is deprived from the justice, even if they have no money or they have no knowledge or not educated. So it provides free legal service to the poor. What is the composition of it? As per section 3(2) of the LSA Act, Chief Justice of India shall be the patron and chief of the NALSA. Second senior most judge of the Supreme Court of India is the executive chairman. So remember, CJI is the patron in chief, and the second senior most of the Chief Justice of India, Second senior most judge of the Supreme Court of India is the executive chairman. Okay, so chairman is the Chief Justice of India, patron in chief is the Chief Justice of India, and the executive chairman is the second senior most judge of the Supreme Court of India. For SALSA, it is in every state, it gives effect to the policy and direction of the NALSA. So SALSA, work of SALSA is to give effect to the policy and direction of the NALSA, and also provide free legal service to the people for the particular state and conduct lok adalat in the state. So SALSA implement the policy of the NALSA and provide free legal services to the people in that state, and also conduct lok adalat for the resolution of their grievances. SALSA is headed by the Honorable Chief Justice of Responsible High Court, who is the patron or chief of the SLSA. Okay, so CGI is the patron and chief of NALSA, and CGI of a particular of a respective high court of particular state as act as a patron and chief of the SLSA. Okay, services, state legal authority, state SLSA, states legal service authority. This is the logo of NALSA, न्याय सबके लिए, access to justice for all. Okay, let's move on to the next topic called North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or simply called as a NATO. So NATO was set up after World War II. Remember, NATO was set up after World War II with the express purpose of containing the Soviet Union. So purpose of NATO is to contain the Soviet Union, because at that time there is a war going on. There is a debate going on between Russia, USA. Many countries are fighting. After the World War II, there is a Cold War going on between Russia and USA. So grouping of NATO, or the main purpose of grouping on NATO, is to contain the Soviet Union. And they are you can say in a side of, they are supporting USA. Any new applicant has to be approved by the all existing member of the island. If any country want to become applicant or want to become a member of NATO, then all existing member of the NATO countries of that alliance of the NATO have to approve the new applicant. The powerful military backing of the NATO offers, under whose charter every member has to defend any one member being attacked. Okay, so the mandate or charter of NATO is that if any country who is a member of NATO, if any attack by other country, then it is assumed that that attack is on the all NATO member. Okay, so every member has to defend any one member being attacked. Okay, so if any one member of NATO is attacked by other country, then each member are jump into the war and defend that country. So it is the charter of the NATO, and it is backed by the powerful military. And this NATO is basically to contain the Russia, and all members have to, for a new applicant, all members have to approval of that new applicant. So these are the NATO countries. Okay, this side Canada, USA, and this side European, like Norway, France, Portugal, Spain, UK, Italy, Poland, Germany, Turkey. So these are all NATO members. Let's move on to the, I think, last topic called Gulf of Straits near African continent. Gulf and Straits. So when you look at the map of the Africa, you can clearly see here Strait of Gibraltar, which connect Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea. Here Gulf of Guinea, okay, which is on the, you can say, near Nigeria, and here a Gulf of Aden, which connect the Red Sea with the Arabian Sea. So Gulf of Aden, which connect Red Sea with Arabian Sea, or you can simply call Mediterranean Sea with the Indian Ocean. So Strait of Gibraltar connect Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea. Red Sea connect Mediterranean Sea with the Indian Ocean, and Gulf of Aden connect Red Sea with the Arabian Sea. Okay, so these are important seas: Red Sea, Arabian Sea, Gulf of Aden, Strait of Gibraltar, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Sea, and Gulf of Guinea. So when you look at the map of these important gulfs and straits, you can clearly see Gulf of Aden is in the west of Gulf of Guinea, and Strait of Gibraltar is in the north of Gulf of Guinea. And from the Guinea equator, as well as this equator and this Greenwich line is passes. Okay. So through Guinea, these both lines, not Greenwich line, prime meridian and equator passes through Gulf of Guinea. So through Gulf of Guinea, when you look at the map of Gulf of Guinea, it is west of it and Strait of Gibraltar is on the north of it. Okay. So through this picture, you can clearly see this is a Gulf of Guinea, which is below the Niger. It is a Strait of Gibraltar where it is, I think, somewhere here. Okay, which connect Mid-Atlantic with the Mediterranean Sea, and here Gulf of Aden, which connect Red Sea with the Arabian Sea. So this is it for today's video. I hope you love this video, you enjoy this video, and gain some perspective, some knowledge out of it. So remember, this is a part 2 of the December 2023. I also recorded 2 videos, part 3 and part 4 for December, and then we completed the whole current affairs related issue for the December 2023. And this issue is basically focused on for the object for the prelims. That means you through by help of this video you can solve prelims like questions. For mains, I recorded different video in the name of current affairs of December 2023 for mains. So I hope you love this video, you enjoy this video, and gain some perspective, some knowledge of the topic. So namaskaram, thank you. Keep learning, keep growing.